Alrighty, guys. Welcome to Happy Hour Radio. It's a little short this week because unfortunately we are missing Alex. She's sick with the flu. If you're listening right now, I miss you very much. But y'all are listening to 91.7 WCUR The Curve. Today, I'm joined by several special guests, Steven, our webmaster, and Sam, our business director. Ooh. But our most special guest...
What's up, guys? You got priority.
You're there.
I'll take some priority for the next 15 minutes. What's up, guys? This is Marc Hayford, author of Get Up, encouraging you to attack life. And Ashley, thank you for having me on.
Of
this
course.
Is such an honor.
Yeah, of
Flanked
course.
by these two studs, one who doesn't have social media, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I had the pleasure of reading your book this weekend. I was talking to you about it before. I'm an English major, for anyone who doesn't know. So I do tend to read a lot. One of my favorite authors of all time is Charles Bukowski. And his writing style is very short, to the point, blunt. You know what I mean? He's not messing around. And I can see that in your writing. It's almost, and again, I told you it's because I've met you before, but I could hear your voice as I was reading, which I think is an amazing thing any author should, they should be wanting to accomplish that. That should be their, goal. You can hear their voice in your head as you're reading their book. I think that's an amazing thing to accomplish. So while I was reading that, I definitely heard it. I felt like you were just talking to me the whole time.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. This was the first book, but it won't be the last book. As a matter of fact, there's going to be a whole series coming out because I believe in the mindset and how it just is so pertinent across the board. No matter your age, background, color, whatever you believe, it doesn't matter. I've had kids that have been hitting me on Snapchat saying, whether they call me, hey coach, or hey DJ, because I'm a DJ, or hey Mr. Hayford, or hey Mark, whatever, your book helped me with fill in the blank. I've had retirees that have reached out to me, and I literally have had people, it's so humbling, they've said, this has helped me look forward to and have a vision for my second half of life. I had one person that actually reached out to me, this kind of made me chuckle. They said, I just want to thank you for your book and what you said in it, because I've had reconstructive shoulder surgery, and not only has this helped me go harder towards my physical therapy, my physical therapist wants a copy of your book. I'm like, hey, 2 for 1, But what I was going to say was I really appreciate a writing style where I don't feel that the person's too pretentious. Yeah. And they're writing in the sense of as if they're having a conversation with me. That's what I enjoy, and that's what I wanted to do when I serve this up for people. So you can almost kind of feel like it's a buddy talking with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because, that type of writing, as you put it, pretentious, but, maybe flowery or, poetic. You know what I mean? Some of that is nice every once in a while, especially when it's coming from someone like Hemingway or something like that. But when you're trying to inspire people and literally inspire them to get up, yeah. I think that's very important to not do that. You don't want to sugarcoat things. I encourage everyone to go read this book because I thought it was awesome. It was very, especially for a college student reading it, it's, there are days where I don't feel like getting out of bed and going to class and doing my homework and stuff like that. So reading this, it's cool, you know what I mean? It's all right, so just because I'm tired doesn't mean, I shouldn't go to class. But basically, running for something, running for a position, and you're saying, don't get yourself down because you're just going to be oh, well, I'm not qualified enough. Or, and that actually just happened, with us. I just ran for events director, and I almost didn't run for it because I was I don't know, someone else is going to get it because they're more qualified than me. But I ran for it, and I got it, you know what I mean? So it's you don't want to have that mindset because clearly I was wrong. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. Not only do I completely agree, there was something that was put in the Philadelphia Inquirer about a year ago. This is actually true, and it was an advertisement and for a job. Mm-hmm. And they put in 2 separate job offers, okay? One was for, paraphrasing, $120,000 a year, and the other one was for half of that, about $60,000 a year. Very few people applied for the $120,000, the 6-figure job. Most people applied for that 5-figure income because we play too small. I'm yelling at you now. This is what I'm talking about and I want the people that are listening out here, I want all the college students to realize, you can go get this book on Amazon right now. And this isn't about selling books. This is about changing and shaping mindsets. I believe we don't get medals for just fitting in and playing small, right? Mm-hmm. This is not our practice life. This is about going out. This book is supposed to pull the best out of you. It's supposed to inspire you. It's not you know, you got a drill sergeant in your back pocket, but I wrote it in a style where it has pop culture, it has sports, it has music, again, the way I would want someone to speak to me and relate to me. And I find that so many people on so many different levels across the board have been benefiting from it. I want people to look at this book as a tool. And when you go on your spring break next week, take this book with you. I mean, this is, 150 pages. You could literally read it in a couple hours or a couple nights. But I think in doing so, it's not like one more thing to do. I mean, you guys read all the time. You're students, you're studying, you're cramming. I think this is one of those things that will be fun to read. And it's about that mindset. It's about not playing with these false limitations. Why do we do this all the time? Everybody does it. I see it in young kids. I see it I especially see it in adults. That's why I like working with college, high school, you know, down, because it's easier to work with a fresh mind and mold it versus repairing someone that's, you know, already been broken and through the mill. You know, it's crazy. I don't think like a lot of people think, but I've done more than a lot of people have done in a short time. And when I go and I speak to, you know, these groups, as I find that some of the age demographics are a little older, I always get the person that's kind of, you know, sitting back there with the arms crossed, like, I don't know. But then you stay stuck. Like, if you're good, if you just know better, then I can't help you. You know, if you know what you know and that's all you know, well, you're not going to grow. I think you've got to be open-minded. And I believe that this book, Get Up, just what it says, get up, encouraging you to attack life, not kind of sit back and see what happens, or maybe show up, like, go get it. You want something, go get it, go create it, go make it happen, Sam. Come on, man.
I mean, going back to what Ashley was saying, I became the business manager for the station this semester, and when I went in to run for the position, I was kind of like, you know, let me at least put my foot out there, you know, stick my foot in the door and say, hey, I'm here, I'm willing to do this. And then now I'm here, I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
You're doing all right.
You are, Sam. I
Thanks, guys.
You know, watch this. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. It's always no. So you got to go for it. I mean, again, it's not your practice life. What are you waiting for? Go make it happen. Listen, everybody in this room has a different passion, has a different skill, has a different energy. We all bring something different. How boring is it when we all try to be the same? And why do we do that? Because we're afraid. I'm afraid. I'm not going to get enough likes on Insta or on Facebook, or somebody's going to say something about me. Do you know how many haters I have right now? They're growing by the multitude, and that means I'm doing something right because I'm making people uncomfortable. I want to thank you for having me on this show, because I'm not supposed to be here, and I don't mean C-Dub. I'm talking about, I'm an unpublished author, a self-published author. I don't have the machine backing me. I don't have somebody throwing millions of dollars at it yet. Okay, so when I go into some of these stores that have been pretentious or snooty, it's kind of like this boys' club, you know, where I actually had someone tell me, who cut me off, and I was telling them what the book was about, and they said, "Sir, is there actually a point to this?" And I said, yeah, the point is, you're about to turn away a book that became a #1 book in Amazon self-help in 4 hours, overnight, like that. So again, and the endorsements are sick from NFL players, scientists, other #1 authors. So I'd like to think that there's a legitimacy right there.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So, see, Sam's doing great. I love that. You're going to follow me every gig. This is great.
He's your hype man.
Sam the hype man, baby.
I was going to say, I didn't have time to read the book as closely as Ashley.
Yeah, thanks.
I just
Get up.
Last second, you know, but maybe after the interview I can go in.
Sure,
But one thing that I really like about the structure of the book is that the way you have it sectioned off into the rants and then sort of the subsections of each is you can either sit down and read the whole thing, and you can spend, you know, get all of what it has to offer, or you could just wake up one day, open it to a page, and you're going to find something that'll, you know,
thank you.
The day.
And I am curious about the rants. I wanted to ask you, because when you first explained it to me before I got a chance to read, I thought the rants were kind of instead of chapters, but I kind of see that you use them as like a preface to the chapter. It's
funny how this book came together. It came together pretty quick, and it was a lot of thoughts on the whole mindset of elevating your lack of limitations, of elevating your game, your frequency, coming to win, being on purpose. Talk about sleepwalking in the book, right? Like, so many of us just sleepwalk. We just show up on purpose, man, right? So a lot of times I would have a lot of things, and the chapter would start to manifest and take turns, and I can add this, and I can you know, save this for something else. But then once in a while I would get these ideas, and it would be on focus, or it would be on desire, or it would be on excuses, or, you know, what have you. There's 8 chapters, I think 9 rants. And when some of the rants came in, I thought to myself, I don't want to belabor this. I don't want to be a guy that just like puts more pages in and makes fillers, because I could do that, but who wants to read that? Nobody. So let's get to the point. So with a lot of these that kick you right in the teeth, then I mean, because that's what they are. They're a rant. And there's a couple in there where, listen, I'm all for empathy. That's not what this book is about. But there's a couple times when I was in the middle of writing where it was therapeutic, or something touched me from that I saw in my community or something. Like there's one of the rants, it's called Heal, and it's about well, if you need to heal, read that, and I think that'll be helpful for many people. But then there's other ones that are going to make you want to cage fight a polar bear, or save the whales, or run through a brick wall made on fire. Sam, you know what I'm talking about? High five, come on, Sam. I love Sam. But that's how the rants came about, because there were ideas that were fostered that were important, but I didn't want to lose it in a chapter, and I didn't want to have to drag it out for the sake of dragging it out.
And I think that's very cool, because again, when you throw in all that filler and stuff, people become disinterested and they put the book down and they never pick it back up. So
you know what's funny? I was a little worried when the book was first getting done, because again, it was my first rodeo with this, and the lady that formatted it for me, her name's Colleen. I call her Saint Colleen, because she has answered every stupid question. It was so patient and handheld me to death, and I appreciate all the people.
That's good.
I needed it. I really did. And when she finished it, she said it's only like 150 pages, and I was like, oh. Because I thought, well, I wasn't looking to publish like a leaflet that gets lost on the back of your toilet or between the couch seats here at WCUR, Sam, you know what I'm saying? But then she was like, listen, this is what people want. They don't want to read 850,000 pages of War and Peace. Like, it's okay to have a book that gets to the point.
Yeah.
And I kind of embraced it. And I think that's what more people need to do. We're all weird. We all have our idiosyncrasies, our insufficiencies. We all have our insecurities. Embrace that. Look, I'm bald and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that. Run with it. And that's part of the book, too.
Cool.
So.
And you briefly mentioned that you've done a lot of things in your life: football coach, WWE, all that kind of stuff. What did you just wake up one day like with this idea and you went with it, or was this kind of your whole life you knew you wanted to inspire people in this way?
Run with what, as far as being an author?
Yeah,
or as
being
far
an
as
author.
Doing different things? Well, that's a great question. I mean, I've always liked to write. And as I've gone through these different life experiences, because I'm halfway through the next book, it's coming out this year. Awesome. There will be a series of these Marc Hayford books. But I got to a point to where I said, you know what, there's all this that I have, all these ideas, all these experiences that I've been blessed to have, and I'm grateful and humbled and everything at the same time. And it's selfish if I keep it to myself. So I have to formulate this in a way where it can go out to the masses. And I'm a motivational speaker. I go on stage. I'll be speaking here sometime in the near future before this school year's out. But I felt this was a nice platform to get out. So a college student can read it. So someone who's retired and going, what do I do now? I got 30 more years here. What do I do?
Yeah.
Or that kid that's afraid to go for the varsity team, or to go for these positions that you guys are. I don't know who you are, but you might walk through a bookstore or go on Amazon and go, oh, let me check this out. And it could ignite a spark. So if this book was to help one person or that mindset, or to get somebody into a different place of life where they need to be, that was enough satisfaction for me. And from what I've been hearing, man, it just gives me chills to know how many people have had such good responses, and that inspires me. That puts gas in my ambition tank. You know what I mean? Like, that fuels me to just keep going. And who cares about the naysayers and the people that said that, I'm not backed by the machine yet.
Yeah.
That's all right. You could sit there and think how important you are, and I'm going to use this as a tool that it is and help people.
And honestly, that sounds very similar to the approach that because I want to hopefully be a history teacher for secondary ed in the future here. And in talking with my one uncle who was a teacher for a number of years, we discussed, how you're not going to be able to reach every single kid. You're not going to be able, it's just not going to happen. But the idea is to approach it with, can I at least make an impact on one person? If you can make an impact on one person, then you're doing your job right. If you can at least go out there and perform to the best of your ability, and you can change somebody, if you can, affect them in a positive manner, then you're doing your job.
That's what it's about, man. We're not, there's so many different mindsets floating around out here, and my creed in life is this: there's enough sunshine for all of us to get a tan. right? So, like, you know, you guys aren't the only radio station. I'm not the only author. There's other professional wrestling referees and football coaches and whatever. That's all good, man. Somebody's got something different to offer. It's okay. You can be you, boo. You do you. And I'll do me. You know what I mean? And we all have stuff to share, to offer, different energies, you know? So, I agree, 100%. Sam, high five. Sam.
So you mentioned you have a book signing coming up.
I do.
March
I have a bunch,
21st. Yeah, here, I mean.
Yeah, here.
For anyone who's listening on campus, or at least in the Westchester area, we're holding a book signing. Well, Mark's holding a book signing. We'll be there. We'll stop by.
I love it.
But it's March 21st at the Sykes bookstore downstairs, right?
Absolutely.
3 to 5:30.
Steve and Christina from the bookstore, big shout out to those guys. They're instrumental in coordinating. And it's going to be hot, man. You guys can come in. I'd love to meet everybody, talk to them,
Yeah, of course.
talk about the book, answer any questions. That's why, you know, there will be books there that you can purchase in store. But listen, before you bug out and shut it down for 10 days on your spring break, why not jump on Amazon right now, go get it so you can take it on the ride home, or, you know, get a Kindle paperback. And I'd love to sign it, and I would love to talk to the people and just see what their thoughts are, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, what they loved about it.
Yeah.
You know, and then kind of go from there. Because then I'll be coming back again. We're going to coordinate where I speak in one of the halls. I don't know where that is yet.
Yeah.
But
And we'll definitely be telling you guys who are listening when that'll be. So.
you know they're all listening, actually. They're all listening. It's the hot show right here. WCUR.
This is the highest rated program on WCUR.
Exactly.
Hey!
Happy Hour Radio.
Yeah, happy hour radio.
Well, that's because Sam is on here,
Yeah.
baby.
True,
That's
yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
So second highest would be my Friday night show
Yeah.
with my co-host Brad.
oh, see, we just threw salt. We just threw some shade on Sam's game. I didn't realize. No, but yeah, it's going to be Wednesday, March 21st, from 3 to 5:30.
Awesome.
Down in the bookstore. And
Cool.
again, I hope everybody comes out. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank
Well-
you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
That was the quickest 15 minutes ever.
Yeah, well, we're
I wish
having
we had
fun,
more
right?
time to talk, but hopefully you could come back.
I'd
Grace
love
us with
to.
your presence again.
I usually go where I'm invited, so.
Perfect.
Uh,
You'll be invited
Usually,
back,
yeah.
don't worry. Especially if we don't even get you back before like the semester ends. When your next book comes out, you'll definitely be invited back.
I love it.
Every book, you gotta come back.
I'll be, you know what? I would be honored to, and I'll be seeing you
Awesome.
guys a couple times in 2018 then.
Yes.
That sounds good.
You want to say something?
I
can
do.
feel
I
it.
was.
Oh
well,
yes, come on.
Well, we are a radio station here, and we take our jobs very seriously. We love music here, and so it's important to ask.
Okay.
What music inspired you to write this book, or inspire you every day?
Wow. Well, I am a DJ. I've been for almost 20 years, and I do private events. I'm not like
Mhm.
chicka chicka chon, you know. I'm like, you know, your prom, your wedding, your sweet
Yeah.
16,
Mhm.
schools and stuff. So it's so blanketed. I like everything,
Mhm.
and I go in different phases. Ash, we were talking a little bit before we went on the air. Your dad's favorite band
It's
is
Van Halen.
Van Halen.
I don't know if he's listening. He might be at work right now.
Shout out
but
to Dad. Get up and jump. I love Van Halen. I love classic rock. I love hip hop. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I love that Beyonce and Bruno Mars can pack dance floors for me and make me lots of money. That's a good thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's across the board. I just go in different phases. Although in this book I do talk, pop culture and music. I do talk Foo Fighters.
yeah, I
I
saw
saw
that.
Hendrix in there.
I do a Jimi Hendrix reference. I talk about some famous failures, one being the Beatles, who were told by their first record company I decided to not sign them. Decca Records told the Beatles that they, quote, had no room in the music business. And then they wound up...
Nobody wants a guitar
yeah,
playing band
right.
anymore.
Guitar bands are going away.
Yeah.
And then they quickly signed, after they realized the mistake they made, signed the Rolling Stones. So the lesson there is you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. Hey. So I'm all over the place.
Impressive. Yeah.
Great question.
Alrighty, guys. Well, time's up. I'm gonna sign us out with a Van Halen song for Mark and my dad. So shout out Dad. But again, thank you for joining, and everyone who's listening, don't forget to tune in next week 4 to 6 for Happy Hour Radio. Hopefully Alex will be back and she'll be feeling better. Again, if you're listening, I miss you and feel better, and enjoy, guys.
See ya.